So let's get into this story. Now, this story was very interesting to me because a lot of people rushed to cover it. And while I was busy, and the true reason why I didn't stream, number one, first and foremost, is I've legitimately been completely busy. I haven't been able to stream as much as I wanted to, or record videos as much as I wanted to this week. But that aside, I had a sneaking suspicion that I needed more information on this before I reported on it. And when I saw this go up, and I saw this go up, I think on the 30th. So this was before. So this is what I saw. So I saw this from Corey, right? On August 30th at 1:10 p.m. That's Asia time. So they said, we will report violations committed by those involved with the VTuber agency Nijisanji. So this is interesting. The way they word this is those involved with. So involved with, the first thing you think of when you read this, involved with, is an employee of Nijisanji. So when I read this, that was the implication here. Now, understand, involved with does not necessarily directly mean working as a regular employee for Nijisanji, because mind you, even the VTubers, even the livers for Nijisanji aren't really employees. They're kind of just involved with them financially. So this was misleading. And I don't know if Corey is purposely misleading or not. But the assumption is that they kind of knew a little bit of the facts here. They didn't report it yet. They were trying to pump up their episode, get that Niji pump. And so I think this was, maybe if it wasn't malicious, it was probably deceptive. And I think we need to be very careful with people whose channel someone described them as a drama tuber, right? So I think healthy skepticism is merited, especially when, like, let's see the evidence. Now, I don't want them to actually be doxxed. That's fucked up. And by the way, some people are calling for, I saw some of the posts which essentially imply that we need to dox these people in order to prove it's actually them, which is fucked up. Super fucked up. But that said, they allege here the damage was involving recording of VTubers who operate while hiding their faces while they work and disseminating the footage. He also sends her messages making fun of her appearance. The mere existence of people like this in the industry will only increase the number of victims, and since the VTuber herself is unaware that she was secretly filmed at the whistleblower's request, the footage will be made of it public on a live broadcast at 10:30 p.m. So I thought they were gonna like dox them. I thought Corey was gonna like kind of show the footage and like show it unfiltered. And I was like, wait a second. So you guys are going to dox them, VTuber? It was weird. I didn't know what to expect coming out of Sunday. Frankly, a lot of this I thought might be lost in translation. So I was a little bit confused. And also seeing this image, to me, okay, I don't know if you guys did the like looking at this, like kind of enhancing this or whatever, but like this really looks like a sexual image or a scandalous image, because it looks like, look, there's their bare feet, there's their legs, right? And it looks like they're not wearing stuff at top, or not wearing very much, or something's going on here. It looks like some sort of like casting couch situation here. So like I was very like, what the fuck is going on? Now in this original one, they said nothing about sexualness, right? So this said nothing about sexual crimes, but I was suspect that like this was a sexual harassment issue, because in many cases, why would you secretly film somebody? Typically you secretly film somebody to see them naked, right? Clearly wearing a light brown t-shirt. I can't see that. Maybe I'm blind. I don't know. But regardless, chilling on the couch, and there's somebody over here in this picture, right? Okay. So that's what we kind of thought. That's what we had. And then update, and here's a good summary, as well as a good graphic about this. So I'll pull up the summary and the graphic here. Update on the Niji doxing situation. 5 livers were filmed privately, and it's done by an audio engineer that was outsourced in Niji from YAB for 4 years. So this is a person that was a contractor for Niji, it appears. Right? So Niji contractor. Said person is a big deal, having worked in for take. Aphrodisiacs were apparently used. Details will be updated. So spiking of drinks. So this changes it into a situation that is more sexual in nature and also involves some implications here. So Leaker was the director of YAB Entertainment. YAB's a studio that works with a lot of agencies, Nijisanji included. One of the Niji GP talents went to the record, and the mixer and composer spiked her drinks with aphrodisiacs and took pictures of her, some sexual. They then shared it with third parties in a big creators group, one of which leaked it to Kore. So they're VTuber adjacent, right? They've got a big resume. Here's YAB and what they've worked on. So they worked on Fairy Tale, Defector Ballerino, Job Tune, Utage, King of Conte, Spicy Sessions, right? A lot of good stuff they've worked on. A lot of stuff they worked on here, right? Crazy coincidence that the director was responsible in producing Isekai no Yui, which is the very same anime that Miki Neko first debuted in as a voice actor. That is a huge coincidence. All right, let's go over here. Where is so there's a group where the livers pictures were shared, right? And they rated the leaks. Look at this. If it's 12,800 yen for 60 minutes, I'll nominate you. It's over. Right? And they show her pictures there, which look like they're graphic, right? Of course, they're censored here. Armpit, her face is 60 points, but her body is close to 100 points. Both are screenshots of the video, so not to arouse suspicion. So they're ranking her and scoring her here. Right, so obviously you have the company site there. The people who were doing this were working there for 4 years. So the leaker's name was YAB, right? So they were suspecting that of the people that follow YAB, they were followed by a certain talent in Nijisanji EN. Now this is Nijisanji JP. That's kind of speculation here. I think they were speculating it's who was it over here? Mito Tsukino. They were speculating that's them. Now, that's some speculation. But we got a confirmation by Nijisanji. So this was all, coming from Kore. And then all of a sudden, we have a confirmation by Nijisanji. Let's catch up here on the Niji response. So this is the, actually, we'll go with Kore's summary, and then we'll go to the Niji response. So this is Kore's summary before the Niji response. So Kore says, I will summarize the case of Mixer musician who committed malicious acts such as taking upskirt photos and eavesdropping on VTubers affiliated with Niji. So they're saying it's more than one. Details of the allegations. Secretly photographing Nijisanji VTubers who came into the recording studio owned by a mixer and distributing them to third parties. Some of these secretly photographed images are sexual, mock the appearance of the VTubers who came to record, and sexualize used tissues. Used tissues? Wait, what? Were they, wait, hold on. Were they using tissues to goon? Like, what's going on there? Anyway, that's an interesting one. Live broadcast the audio of VTuber who came to record without permission and make it public to multiple other artists. Line exchanges such as putting aphrodisiacs in the drinks of creators who came to record to test their reactions. What the fuck? Mix Masters company employee, is it possible that the security taken photos are not of VTubers but of ordinary people, and that the line conversations have also been edited? Taking advantage of the fact that VTubers' faces are not publicly available online, the person in the photo is treated as an ordinary person and insists he did not take photos of Nijisanji VTubers, but the person identified was an acquaintance of a Nijisanji of a VTuber who was photographed. This is some cope. So this is from the company employee, and this is bullshit. Because essentially what they're saying is, in order to prove this, you have to dox your VTubers. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Now, of course, real quick, by the way, and somebody mentioned this in the chat, this is all coming from Kore. So like, let's take this with a grain of salt, not as factual. This is their summary, right? And then we're going to read Nijisanji. So I think if we put together A plus B, we're going to get to closer to the truth here, okay? More than 60 videos of the VTuber involved with the musician are made private. Fans are furious. Nijisanji operator AnyColor Ian is considering filing criminal charges against musicians. We'll read that because they're also thinking of filing charges against people covering this. I mean, from what it sounds like, Niji may file shit against me or, people like False or Kyo or whatever else. It sounded like they were saying, oh yeah, we want to think about that. Well, fuck you. We're just covering this. And I don't think they will, and I don't think would. And I don't think they have any basis for it legally. That said, a musician posts a screenshot of an apology he wrote carelessly on his iPhone's notepad. His ex-wife also posts an apology. So this is really one thing that was big for me. So we're going to get into this apology. I'll read the apology quick. But his ex-wife apologizing? Like, how guilty do you have to be when your ex-wife is apologizing? Unless your ex-wife is like out to get you. She's like the evil ex-wife. And she's like, no, he totally did it. But I've never seen an issue where someone is like alleged and their ex-wife. And could it be a Japan thing? Maybe. But why is your ex-wife, like your current wife maybe, but like your ex-wife has to apologize? That's what happened there. Here's a apology from YAB, right? We are very sorry for the inconvenience caused, right? Once again, not really apologizing for doing the thing or admitting to anything, but just for the inconvenience, And of course, that's from YAB, the actual company that, created the problem in the first place. Yeah, and once again, you always look at the veracity. Like, is this a real apology or is this some bullshit? Because a lot of times it's some bullshit. I'm not going to lie, guys. A lot of times the apology is bullshit. Okay. Now we got AnyColor. Let's pop over to AnyColor. And clarify for most people. Okay. Reporting on the infringement of rights of our affiliated live streamers by external creators. So I want to start out with the title because the title is very important. So instead of saying we need to protect, the title's like protecting our live streamers, protecting our livers. What do they care about? What does this show that Nijisanji cares about? At any point in this title, is it really talking about people as people? Or is it talking about their property? What they care about, all they care about, is the infringement of rights. Right? Now, I get it. They're a company. They have to make money. I get that. But, I mean, at this point, you're just not even that bad at PR. You're offensive with PR, like every single time. Public relations is important, and they just keep shitting the bed. Thank you very much for your continued support of virtual live groups Nijisanji and Nijisanji EN. On September 1st, 2024, an accusation was made that an external musician referred to as the subject, so the YAB is the subject, so we're going to say YAB, had secretly photographed the appearance of an individual who's said to be a live streamer affiliated with our company during the external influencer's YouTube broadcast. And that photograph was sent to a third party without permission in full form that included defamatory language. So calling her a 60 out of 100, that's potentially defamatory. Making fun of her, potentially defamatory in Japan. Because once again, Japan has different and more strict defamation. So yeah, definitely those text messages defamed her. And the way they said it here is an accusation, but they're giving a lot of details. There are suspicions that the target has used illegal physical force against one of our affiliated live streamers. I think this means the aphrodisiac, but it also can mean that they like intimidated her or grabbed her or, touched her, maybe assault, battery, who knows? This is very interesting. This could even imply, I hate to say it, but this could even imply SA. Our company has also began investigating the facts as soon as the announcement was made on August 30th, and has identified some information such as where the photographs mentioned in the announcements were taken, when they were taken, where they were taken, and the victims. So they know. So Nijisanji is saying, we know. And so that speculation about them thinking, oh no, they're not Nijisanji employees. Well, AnyColor is saying, no, we know where they are, and those are definitely our people. Right. As a freelance musician, the target is involved in providing music to numerous artists, as well as recordings, mixing, and mastering. And our company has had also requested that he provide music. In this situation, so they're a freelance, so they're a contractor. And he's probably a true contractor. But you do have some duty, particularly when you have somebody who's an employee-esque and you're putting them in that situation to make sure they're all right and do some screening. In this situation, it is extremely regrettable that the suspicions had arisen that the subject had committed an unspeakable act of barbarism, such as this one, which has hurt a live streamer affiliated with our company. It can even shake the foundation of trust between our company and creators. This is pretty huge. Saying, like, them admitting that this could damage the live streamer. And I guess, I guess this is placating to a certain extent, fans that are probably really, really, really mad about this, and justifiably, right? Unspeakable act of barbarism, very strong language. Although, of course, this has been converted from Japanese to English, but still. We will continue to investigate the facts, but in this case, we suspect the actions may constitute assault against our affiliate live streamer and violations of the harassment prevention ordinance. And we intend to take firm action, including possibility of taking the matter to criminal law. So there you go. They're going to go to Japanese court for this, apparently. And I think if there was assault, they would have a duty to do that, particularly if it happened on the job. Otherwise, here's the thing. If they don't pursue this, then that VTuber that was assaulted while they're doing their job could probably turn around and sue Nijisanji. So if Nijisanji is not going to get the justice, then that employee could. And that would be even worse. Right. And like some of you are saying in the chat, possibility they even have to think about it. I agree with you. They should say, no, we're 100% taking this to court. In addition to terminating the contracts currently in place. So the good news is they're terminating the contract. That's at least one thing, right? The company will also take legal action against the target for breach of confidentiality obligations, of course, because secret recordings would definitely breach an NDA. Violation of privacy rights, yes. defamation, reputation, and violation of other rights. So one thing you need to understand is in Japan, there's a pretty strong right to your image, to your face, etc. That's why a lot of the walking streamers, those like walking around the city streamers, like you have to be very careful in Japan. Some of the big ones get in trouble because you can't just show people's faces without their consent. Big problem there. We will provide adequate support to our live streamers who have concerns about this matter and will aim to resolve this matter as quickly as possible. So they're saying some of the right things, but as with Nijisanji, I want to see them follow through. All right, so here's where it gets funky. Here's where we are like, wait, what? Additionally, in order to prevent secondary damage, we ask that you strictly refrain from spreading any photos or information about this matter or posting mocking comments about this matter to our affiliated live streamers on social media or through comment functions during live streams. This is really interesting. So I understand the photos, but obviously there are no actual photos. Everything's blurred or, blocked off. Nothing. We haven't seen anybody actually doxed. But what I'm really suspicious of is them saying that they want to stop information. Why are they trying to stop information on this? Because they didn't do anything wrong from well, at least at face value. Maybe you could argue there was some possible negligent hiring of the contractor, but probably not. The main liability here falls under YAB. And in fact, if anything, they should want to make this information, put it out there that this is unacceptable, this is disgusting, and this is wrong. But trying to get third parties to not discuss this, that's not going to happen. Now, they double down and they go down this weird track. So let's continue here. In addition, regarding this case, there have been occasional voices on the internet alleging that our affiliated live streamers, managers of our affiliated live streamers, and other officers or employees may have committed the crime. But we are not aware of any evidence to support that claim that our affiliated live streamers or our officers or employees were involved in acts of abuse in this case. That's what you would say. And of course you would say that. But anyways, please refrain from assuming that this incident was committed by a live streamer or employee of our company and spreading false information. And by the way, we have no information that would imply that. Right. But even if it was a Nijisanji employee, which I don't believe it was, I believe it was just YAB. But even if it was, of course, Niji's not going to admit that. Of course. Who's going to admit that they're doing something wrong? We are considering preserving evidence and taking legal action against these malicious acts. So what they are concerned about is the spread of false information. So they're thinking about suing people who have spread false information. Now, I don't think this is going to work, particularly because a lot of the people that are reporting on this are reporting on it outside of Japan, outside of a country they really have any power to fight back against. So after they threaten to sue people for, spreading information and covering stuff, they say, in addition, as content such as cover songs in which the target was involved and social media posts by live streamers affiliated with our company who are presumed to have received songs provided by the target could be used as a starting point to try to pry into the victim. In this case, we have temporarily made that content private and deleted the social media posts. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to cover up anything that was put out by YAB. So you guys can't figure it out. No one can figure out who was the one that was recorded, because they're confirming here. They are confirming. This is a confirmation that this indeed did happen. We ask that you immediately delete the content that's been made private, and the list of deleted posts is publishing on the internet. Such social media will lead to secondary victimization of the victim. We recognize that something like this should never happen again and should not be tolerated. In order to protect the physical and mental health, oh my God, Niji giving a fuck about the mental health of your live streamers? X to doubt. and allow them to continue their activities with peace of mind. We will make further efforts to improve the working environment of our affiliated live streamers, including reviewing the selection of creators to whom we order and the criteria for continued order. So essentially, they're going to have to review their contractors and really do some due diligence, which we'll see if they do that. For any inquiries regarding this, please provide information to AnyColor Inquiry Desk. We ask you refrain from contacting our affiliated live streamers, including any contact on social media or comments during live broadcasts. So don't bring us up during lives, is what they're saying. You'll probably get banned, or they won't be able to talk about it. Pretty crazy. In the chat, somebody said, where was it? There's tools for unblurring. However, it's not likely to work on those photos because they're low info. Yeah, they're low resolution, shitty photos. So I really doubt that will work. If it's a super high quality photo, then I can see it working.